Hello, my name is Jared Pace, and I'm a student in Intercultural Communication and Organizations. And in this video presentation, I will be comparing and contrasting two countries, Sweden and Brazil. Before I go into comparing these countries, let's first take a look at some of the popular beliefs, traditions, and everyday practices of both of these countries. The most popular religion in Brazil is Catholicism. Brazil has many favorite food items, but most popular are the pão de queijo, the acarajé, and the feijoada. Brazil's education is similar to that of the United States, with 3 levels of education: elementary, high school, and higher education. Brazilians are crazy about football, and when I say football, I mean soccer. Brazil has won 5 World Cups, and their most famous soccer player is Pelé. Brazil also has the greatest biodiversity on the planet, with over 64 national parks and 200 conservation units. Now we will take a look at Sweden. The major religion in Sweden is Lutheran Christian. The most popular food choices in Sweden are meatballs and pea soup. As for education in Sweden, children will normally attend a compulsory comprehensive school. Side note, college is free in Sweden as well. With low unemployment, low birth rate, and a successful welfare system, all of this leads to Sweden having one of the highest standards of living in the world. Sweden also has over 100,000 lakes and 24,000 islands that the public has complete access to. Now that we've looked at some of the exciting facts about each country, I now want to discuss how these two countries compare and contrast in cultural dimensions and cultural syndromes. In the book Intercultural Communications, the famous social psychologist Geert Hofstede gives an overview of his cultural dimensions model. I will use this model to help us compare these two great countries. The 5 cultural dimensions that Hofstede's model includes are power distance, uncertainty avoidance, individualism versus collectivism, masculinity versus femininity, long-term versus short-term orientation. Also, Harry C. Triandis assists us in identifying what knowledge is most useful when interacting with another culture. These cultural behaviors consist of individualist and collectivist, vertical and horizontal, active and passive, diffuse and specific, instrumental and specific. I will now describe how these two countries compare and contrast to these dimensions and syndromes. Brazil is a collectivist society. They believe very strongly in loyalty, particularly within the bonds of family. This includes cousins, uncles, grandparents, and other members of the family that would usually be considered distant family in many individualistic cultures. Brazilians are high in power distance and have a vertical culture. They have high regard for those in power. Inequalities among individuals are fully accepted. Showing respect to your superiors as well as parents or other guardians are very important. As mentioned previously, family is very important to Brazilians, but on the other hand, competition is popular in regards to sports, education, and occupation. With that being said, Brazil is intermediate when it comes to being masculine or feminine, as well as passive or active. Brazil is a structured society with high uncertainty avoidance. This means they rely heavily on rules and guidelines. In order for them to feel comfortable, there must be restrictions and consequences for out-of-line behavior. Now back to Sweden. Sweden is an individualistic society. They have a culture that focuses on the I and not the we. Each person is responsible for taking care of themselves and loved ones. When it comes to work, it's all about the production and not the person. Relationships are more based on contracts and commitments, more than emotion and friendship. Sweden is also a less masculine and more passive country, which means that the people understand how to balance work and life and do a good job of including everyone. Most leaders in Sweden do their best to support their employees. Sweden has a low power distance and therefore has a horizontal society. They believe those in power should be easily accessible, and it's important for everyone to work as a team and not have one dominant leader making all decisions. Sweden has low uncertainty avoidance. They tend to tolerate unorthodox behavior better than others. Learning about these two countries has been a great experience for me. I hope one day I'll have the opportunity to visit and be able to experience how great they are up close. Thank you.